Sorry.
Okay, you're live.
Thank you all for coming to our first live meeting since March, no, February. February of 2020, right? So I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So.
All those in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. And Wendy? Thank you. The minutes of May 17th. Anyone have any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second? Jack seconded. All those in favor? Chair votes aye. Thank you, Wendy, John. Thank you. Anyone have any public comments other than what's on the agenda? If not, we'll go to the next item, which is the at-large member, the at-large seat. We have two applicants. We have Mary Longacre and we have Hillary Hedges Rayport. And so, Mary, if you want to be the first one to speak, and then we'll hear Hillary afterwards. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Nat.
being here.
I don't really have anything to add to what I wrote. I think everyone is somewhat familiar with me. I have been attending meetings for the last year. And it's just this commission deals with areas of interest that I share. So transportation, economic development, planning. So I would be happy to serve. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Mary or just anything to add? I mean, personally, Mary comes to our meetings, which is a rare thing for our meetings. Back when we had meetings, there was very few people, and Mary's always here. And I think a lot of things have changed, especially with the Coastal Resiliency Committee, and that issue has obviously taken quite a leap forward since the last time we sat in these chairs. So I appreciate all your work, Mary and Vince and Fritz and the other people that are on that group. So anyone else have anything?
Thank you, Nat. And if I can put a plug in, we do have an open house this Thursday evening. Details are on the town's website, of course, but it is an opportunity to learn more about the Coastal Resilience Plan and also to have input into the direction that plan will take. It's definitely an opportunity for public input.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hillary, how are you? It's been a while since we've been here.
Person, and to see everybody. Thank you for inviting me to make a comment. And it's an honor to have the opportunity to ask for a seat on this commission. It's also an honor to have such amazing company in asking for a seat. I'm an admirer of everything that Mary has done on the Coastal Resiliency Advisory Committee, which couldn't be a more important committee with what Nantucket faces. I'm going to say a few more words than Mary did, so get comfortable. I just, maybe I'm not as well known to all of you or not as personally well known to all of you. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, my background, my career, and my experience that I would bring to this commission. I do feel that I'm applying for a job to work for the people in the town of Nantucket, to serve with you on this commission as a team member. So I'd just like to tell you a little bit about who you'd be hiring. So as far as my experience with Nantucket, I first came here in 1991, but I really got to know the island through my husband, who was here to support me along with our boys. My husband's family has been coming here since 1955, and we were finally able to have a home here in 2005. And I've been spending every summer here since then. And gradually, as it does with everybody in Nantucket, cast a spell on me. So I became more and more involved, stood up for the things that I believed in, But behind all of that service, I have a long career in business. And I know that this is not just a planning commission, it's also an economic development commission. So I spent my early career working with entrepreneurial companies, helping them grow, investing in companies. I've called on and evaluated thousands and thousands of companies. And I think the skill that develops is one where, first of all, you develop a strategic sensibility about where opportunities lie, about what's going to work out and what's probably a waste of effort. But you also develop an ability to really sweat the details, to pay attention to the details, while also not losing sight of the big picture. And to the extent that you all are familiar with what I've done as far as work on the business of this commission and on Nantucket, I think I have tried to live that and exemplify that through my work. I really became active in civil service on Nantucket. It's not the first activity that I've had in terms of volunteering with Nantucket. I got to know Wendy Hudson a little bit back in 2009 and 2010 when I worked with Catherine Kay to produce the Memoir Project Nantucket. We offered memoir writing classes to 12 seniors. We had an instructor. We organized the effort and taught the classes at the Athenaeum. And we produced a book of memoirs of longtime Nantucket residents and summer residents. We sold over 2,400 copies of that book. I must say, Wendy, thank you. You helped a lot with the sales of the book. 100% of the proceeds went to the Athenaeum, and we captured the life stories of some really special people on Nantucket. And the book's out of print now, but you can still read a copy of it at the Nantucket Athenaeum. I then, my husband and I steward a 273-year-old home in the old historic district. And since then, I've come to feel that I'm a steward of the historic streets themselves. And that was really the first thing that I did as far as preservation planning in Nantucket. But I found it really compelling and really rewarding, and not least of which the opportunity to work with people like yourselves who are equally committed to Nantucket. I found it really fascinating to think about what makes a distinctive place, what makes a great place. So places are great because they are connected to their history. They value their history. They value what they have. They preserve their environment. They preserve their community through affordable places to live. If we don't have places for the community to live on Nantucket, we don't have a community. So all of these issues are really, I find, very motivating and very compelling to work on. And I think of all of the commissions and committees on Nantucket, and I follow a lot of them, this commission has the greatest opportunity to make a difference there, and has made a big difference in the past. This commission brings a lot of money to Nantucket. It has the capability to work across different disciplines, different silos on Nantucket. The silo that I spend most of my time in is historic preservation. Along with 8 other folks, we reestablished the Nantucket Historical Commission. Everybody thinks about HDC, it's HDC all the time on Nantucket, but the Historical Commission is actually concerned with what is historic and with preservation planning. That we are the Preservation Planning Commission. This is the Planning Commission. So a lot of your work, part of your mandate is to consider preservation. When you bring federal or state money into the community, you have to make sure it doesn't have an adverse effect on the historic character of Nantucket. So I think by working with your commission, with wearing that hat, it will be just a lot more smooth. There will be an alliance. So I'd really, really like to serve for all of those reasons. Let me just see if there's anything else I had in this whole long speech that I didn't read at all. I guess I also want to acknowledge that I hope it's a difficult choice. Maybe it's an easy choice who to appoint. But I think I bring a lot in terms of my business experience, my record of achievement, The studies that I've made, I've read the transportation plan. I've actually read all of the minutes of this commission from 2012. I have an Excel spreadsheet of it. I've read the packets. I know you guys are thinking I'm a little nutty at this point, and that might be true, but I just feel that I can't talk about something unless I've really studied it. My commission reviewed the milestone improvement plan with a magnifying glass. We've reviewed the Bartlett roundabout plan. We wrote a white paper. I authored the paper called Roundabouts with Nantucket in Mind. I would love to be part of trying to help the community understand how much roundabouts could help improve this place. So yeah, so that's it. I'd love to hear any questions. I'm sorry I haven't had the chance to get to know all of you personally, but I hope I've at least told you a little bit about my character, about what I care about what I hope to contribute. And I hope to get the job and I hope to earn your vote. If not, I'll be a gracious loser. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hillary. Andrew, can I ask you a question about Historic Commission role and something? What are the, I forgot the criteria of projects that they, weigh in on, whatever the term I'm looking for is. Like, is it stuff within a certain part of the island? Is it stuff that is where there's certain funding?
Well, it's
I'm just not sure. I just wanted to make
It's-
that point.
where federal and state funding is being used for, there's a review that's conducted.
Okay, all right. So say, like, when they get to review like some of the projects that the town is initiating, for example, that has nothing to do with the planning commission. This is one of the things, Hillary, that has always been my biggest sort of issue as far as like, there are things that we don't have anything to do with that happen every day. We're not running the place, you know what I mean? So it's nice to know what the historic commission, when you say revitalize it, I know, I'm well aware of that. And Debbie Timmerman used to be doing it and it wasn't quite like this, but we were aware of it. It wasn't like it was an issue all the time. So my point is, bringing this up is, you get to review more than stuff. You get to review the stuff like with the sidewalks that's coming out of the town, for example, the little improvements. And other projects we got that are transportation related, besides planning commission related stuff, correct?
Yeah, so it's the Historic Preservation Act of 1966. Through that act, the federal government held itself to a standard that they would not have their own funds adversely affect any place that is on the register of historic places. So if the money is coming from the federal government, or if it's like a financing, like a revolving fund, that's also considered federal assistance, and the state of Massachusetts has enacted an identical standard. So state or federal funds cannot be having an adverse effect on a place that's on the register. If it's a building, highway projects are actually subject to a section 4F review, which also protects parks, places of recreation, and there's wetlands, etc. So it's actually not our commission, but it's the Massachusetts Historical Commission that makes that determination. And the local historical commission, everything is local in preservation. Right. So the local commission is a consulting party de facto. But in general, I mean, on Nantucket, with the whole island being a National Historic Landmark, I mean, I think commissions, not just the planning commission, right, but everybody wants to consider that. But yes, we do have a responsibility and an opportunity to make sure that federally funded and state funded projects have to, the standard, the legal standard is that they have to, where feasible, make an effort, to avoid, to recognize the adverse effect and avoid and mitigate the adverse effect.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Or Hillary or Mary or anyone? Before we close this portion and go to each individual. Maureen, you have something?
Oh, no,
You're good?
no, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
This is, first meeting like this in a while, so I want to make sure everybody gets to say something if they want to. Forgot how to raise your hand now. We haven't had to do that in a while. No, we're gonna go through each person individually, who's calling each person, because we got the phone, and you can't do paper on the phone. So we kind of figured making a motion is probably not the right way either. I think just going through each individual member, I think is probably the best, unless someone has another suggestion other than that.
Just make a point. I think the bylaws just say you go through an alphabetical order and vote. In alphabetical
Alphabetical order of the members.
no, alphabetical order of the candidates.
Oh, candidates. Oh,
Which in this
Wow.
particular
Yeah,
case,
two, so.
so we vote, for, Mary is an applicant. We vote, see how many votes there are. Hillary, how many votes there are, and then depending upon what happens, you have to have a majority. But that's all I gathered from the bylaws. Am I
That's
correct?
That's right. I just would I would ask the commission to take a vote to waive the paper requirement,
okay. Yeah, I
which
would-
has to be read anyway, so it's not, we're not secret voting.
yeah. So anyone want to make that
I'll
motion?
make that motion to waive the paper ballot.
Is there, all those in favor?
Aye.
I have a question.
Yes.
I guess I do.
Thank
have
you,
one.
John.
So are we just gonna vote or are we gonna say why we're voting the way we are? I mean, or is this a time to make the
No.
comments we want about people? Or we just,
I mean, we just had that section. I mean, you can say something if you want now. I don't
Okay.
see any reason to comment on someone after, I mean, they
no,
just
I guess
have,
if it's okay.
Yeah.
We're still open. So,
sure.
I just wanted to say I had a chance to work with Hillary. Also, I have to also say that I was very glad to see such two well-qualified people interested in working on this commission, because I also believe very strongly that there is a lot that this commission has in its purview, and being able to get more at that, I think, is people who are very interested. That means a lot. And so I know Mary from working on crack, so I'm on the Concom, and she's done, a great job there. And then I've gotten to know Hillary because of the preservation issues involved with, even with things like the wind turbines, because I'm on the town wind
Yeah.
turbine commission as well. And I think that looking at the qualifications, I would tend to go with Hillary because of that background she has and interest in that. How she works with people and all of that, has been very strong. So I just wanted to speak. I know her well, and I wanted to say that I would support her candidacy. And if she weren't running, I'd be happy to support Mary's. So.
Yes, go ahead, Fritz.
I'd just like to repeat, I think we have two candidates who are extremely well qualified. Unfortunately, we can only vote for one. And I would hope that whoever is not elected, appointed, would certainly come back at a later time and another opportunity, because I think we've got two very well qualified.
Anyone else have anything? Rosie? Okay. So you want to go through, so you want to do alphabetical, is what you're saying, Fritz? Is that?
That's what the bylaws.
No,
say.
but I mean, I'm still confused about what that means. So I guess I just ask everyone how many vote, who is voting for Hillary, because H comes before M, right? Is that
Last name.
last name.
Oh, last name. Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, I think you just do, I think you just do a roll call
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do
of
at the
those who are
beginning.
voting yes or no for Mary. And then we do the same thing.
Okay, so we'll go through each person then. I'm gonna, Wendy and John, I'm gonna wait till the end for you guys. Is that fair, or should I just go? What would you like me to do? You guys hear me clear enough, John? You're not driving anymore. I can't hear your car. Okay. All right, so I'll start with Judith. What's your vote?
I vote for Mary because of her work on prayer.
Okay. Fritz?
My vote would be yes for Mary.
Okay. I'll skip the two columns. I'll go to Bert. Okay. And Jack. Okay. Maureen.
Hillary?
Okay. Christie. Okay. Leslie.
Hillary?
Okay. Dave.
Mary.
Okay. John.
Mary.
Okay, John. And Wendy.
Mary, two great candidates in Boston.
Yep. I hear you. And chair votes for Mary. So I just want to say a couple of things about this process. I've been through this for a long time. And when I got started back in 03-ish, circa something, there was a lot of politics on this board, a lot. Public unrest, some really amazing things were going on here that were like, what is going on here? And when I got involved, I had to take my name off the first time because of that. And I ended up being a planning board alternate for a couple of years. Got figured things out, learned how things work, and got on the commission, and then later elected full planning board member. And we have, in my opinion, kept politics out of the planning commission pretty well for the last 13, 14 years. And there's been a lot of changes here. We've gone through several recessions. We used to talk about economic development, and then we didn't want to talk about it anymore because we had too much development. So we said, why are we going to talk about that? So every few years that switches. Somebody will say, what about economic development? And other people will say, we don't need any. And Hillary, I've taken several walks through town with you. You're a formidable, intelligent person. You do your homework as much as probably any person I've ever run into in the last, at least the last decade. Anyway, you've got a voice here now, even though not everybody still doesn't know who you are, which I find amazing. Although I think town meeting, I think a few people figured out who you were. I do my little local checks and still never heard of her. And I say, well, okay. So, you know, everybody finds their niche, and, you know, I think that your niche is definitely in what you're doing, and it's not going to go away. We've talked about this before when Mike was here. There's a lot of things that I personally don't like that happen that you can't sort of control or prevent or alter. And sometimes the little things make bigger differences than the big things. So I appreciate your input. I appreciate your effort. I appreciate your amount of work that you do revitalizing that committee compared to what it was before anyone ever even heard of it, to be honest. Not trying to be, I'm just saying that's true for the most part. But we can only vote for one person at a time. That's just how this is set up, and I think it works really well. And there's always the next time or the next project to weigh in on. That's why I asked that question, because I actually don't know every little detail about what the Historic Commission can weigh in on and what it can't officially. Okay, so does anyone else have anything? Mary, welcome to our group. I can't believe we skipped over Zoom and you're back here in this room. That's just so bizarre. So I don't even know how to get here. So this is great. I'm so happy to be back here. Does anyone else have any questions or comments or anything?
Congratulations.
Yeah, and thank you.
Congratulations.
I'd rather have 2 than 5. Kind of put the name in. That makes it even worse.
It's crazy
So-
that there's some committees that can't even
Can't get anybody.
get anyone, and we have 2 amazing.
Or
people.
re-advertise because of something, so. So thank you again. Leslie, by the way, thank you for your, I'll say something later about you. Thank you.
Watch it. Hillary.
So, Derek, are you still there?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Hillary.
Thanks, Hillary.
Thank you.
Working with you.
Yep,
Not next.
yep, and hopefully we'll have a new transportation plan before the next pandemic. So, can you hear me, Derek? Is he there?
I can hear you.
Okay, beautiful. No, I got you. Thank you so much. Oops. So thank you all. All right, so we'll move on to the transportation program. Update. Hold on a second. Unified work group plan. So what are we doing, Andrew? This is with the period of public review periods closing.
So we have comments that Derek has submitted, and those look like this.
Yep.
So I don't believe we've had any other public comments. Is that correct? Megan? So at this point, I think, and Derek, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think we're closing out that period and moving to adopt the UPWP with the changes submitted by Mass DOTA.
Is that correct, Derek?
That is correct.
Okay. So do you need a vote, Derek?
Yeah, there needs to be a motion to make the review period and endorse the UPWP with reflecting the comments made during the public comment period.
Okay, so I'll accept the motion to close the review period first. Second, Jack?
Yeah.
All those in favor? John and Wendy, thank you very much. This is working better than I thought. Unanimous, Megan. Can't believe I said Megan now. Thank you for being here, Megan, by the way. Incredible. This is fantastic. So I'll accept the motion. If anyone has any questions, I'll accept the motion to approve the program with the comments that Derek has submitted. Is there a second? Christie, I think Christie seconded. Did you second? Okay. All those in favor? John,
Aye.
Wendy, thank you. Thank you.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Okay. Let's see. All right, so you're gonna stay in there, Derek? Are you gonna hang out with us for a little while? Since the phone works so well?
Sure.
Okay.
But really quickly, I just wanted to tell Megan to please forward me a copy of the signatory page with Nat's signature on it, so I can get the secretary's signature.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't hesitate to steer her. She's doing great, but she doesn't know everything yet, Derek. She's doing good, though, I'll tell you that. Thank you. Okay, so Leslie's contract. Has everyone had a chance to look at this? It's basically the same as it was the previous time. Andrew, you want to make any
Mr. Chairman,
comments?
I enthusiastically encourage you to approve this. Leslie's past 3 years have been, she's made important contributions to the commission. I think it's great that she's upping for another 3 years, and I think, you know, especially during this past year with COVID, she has been critical to, you know, with the shortage of the transportation planner, which means more of that I have to do with. She
Yeah.
stepped in and done a lot of things, so.
Yeah. And also too, the office up there is really working well.
We have a great office.
I mean, I don't go out there as much as the old days, but it's pretty amazing, the people that are there and the cohesiveness and, you know, and it's happened slowly, like one at a time kind of thing. And with Esmeralda out there and how she sort of figured it out, that's how I kind of look at things. I look at things from a very simplistic way. I don't get into all kinds of technical things. I just see somebody likes what they're doing and they're doing good at it, and that's it. It's like works, cross training. Eleanor leaving is something that we need to talk about, just to kind of give her a plug, like maybe 5 plugs, because she's 5 people. I said 3 and Dave said 5, so maybe that is true. But I mean, she is amazing, like how much work she did. And Leslie, you're taking over ZBA right now. Is that the plan? You're going back to the old days? Just like nothing to it, just like coming back here. You just do it, right? Well, hopefully that all kind of finds its new person at some point and it can all work itself out. So anyone else have any questions or comments for it?
No other comments, I'll make a motion to approve the contract. For another 3 years.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Aye.
Lindy?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you.
Aye.
Leslie, thank you. And seriously, like all these little things that have happened in the last, not just COVID, but changes and staff, and I think you guys have done a great job. Megan, you're like, it's kind of self-explanatory how you've migrated towards planning and then all of a sudden you, wow, yeah. So that's good. Okay. Other committee stuff. Who's got what? You got the track committee, you got housing, right? You got a lot going on with housing. Yeah, you don't like talking about it? Lots going on with housing.
Lots going on with housing.
I think we're in a good place.
We just got certified.
Yes.
Yeah, that was in Daybreak this morning. Good.
Doing a great job, man. With Silas. Got a lot of properties. Slowly getting there, so I'm sure it'll be a couple of years, but we'll have a lot online in the next couple of years. But a lot of work to do.
Wiggles' house has got a new home last few weeks.
Right down the road.
But it's set up. It's at Danny Casanos.
Where did it wind up?
Danny Casanos.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that's a good spot. That was kind of a mess there. This is good. Good place for it.
We're moving it. They turned around with the other way.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It did. Yeah. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just on the subject of housing, planning board will soon be looking at the housing production plan for the next 5 years. So that is coming your way.
is
July, I believe.
is Tucker going to be on for our agenda item?
Yes.
Okay. Is that going to be a regular planning board meeting or is that going to be
Regular planning
something
board.
else? Okay. Wow. Do we have to start at 3?
No, you have
Oh,
to do
no,
your
I-
homework though. And read it.
It just showed up in my mailbox today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chance to read it yet.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to, I mean, Mary's here, she's chair of the committee, but, and she noted, well, I'll just say, there's a lot going on. There are going to be a lot of meetings. There's going to be a lot of serious attempt to get the public comment and public involved. And understanding what we're going to be talking about. And those of us in the committee really hope that this doesn't come to sort of like, comes to the end and everybody says, oh, well, why didn't you tell me about that? There are plenty of opportunities. So I would encourage all the people on this commission to pay attention to what the meetings are coming up and to try to attend or listen to them or get involved. So because it's the contract, we're more than halfway through the consulting agreement, consultants doing their work. And at the end of the year, we're going to be having a consulting contract that we'll be looking at presenting to the town select board. And I think a lot's going to happen. I just hope we're just hoping there's a lot of public awareness of what is going on. Is that good enough, Mary? Would you like to add something?
Yes, Andrew.
Mr. Chairman, through you, do you see new articles coming before town meeting, bylaw changes, things like that? Or are we too early for that?
I'll speak to what I think and then I'll defer to Mary because she may have the consulting agreement definitely provide, we are soliciting from the consultants suggestions as to what bylaw changes in the area of zoning, planning board related type things would be prudent to be thinking about. And I believe, as far as I'm understanding, they will be coming forward with some suggestions. At this point, there's been no discussion at the crack level as to what those might be, and there have been no input about what we think they ought to be. But yes, there will be something coming, which I presume we're hoping would be next annual meeting, or the after that. Annual town meeting.
Yeah.
Annual town.
So the consulting contract, as Fritz said perfectly, does provide for recommendations for bylaw changes. We expect right now that plan will be delivered in September, and that would give us some time to create a town meeting article. But also, as Fritz said perfectly, at the committee level, we don't have any clue what might be coming. I don't anticipate finding out any more this week at our open house about that, but that will definitely be a subject that we're discussing probably through July and August as the plan gets finalized. I think Thursday's open house is more for physical solutions, and they are intended only as examples. There's nothing that's going to be concrete this Thursday about a recommendation. It's definitely a chance to get public input on, is this within the realm of possibility or is it unacceptable? We're still very much in the stage of design in terms of what solutions might be recommended. And that does, as Fritz again said perfectly, we're hoping for a tremendous amount of public input to shape that design to something that the community really has a commitment to.
Mary, how much time do we have left with the consultants? Or is that like just
You mean on the
ones
contract?
the ones that the town hired that were
Well,
Yeah.
they're scheduled to deliver the plan in September, and they have said that they expect some level of involvement after the plan is
Okay.
delivered. So
there's not a deadline per se.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Well, if there's ever a time that Vince needs to, have come to one of our meetings for something specific that might be related that we could weigh in on or give some sort of vote, the vote of, sense of us, whatever, depending on what it is. Like that certainly would be good, to do.
I think
And we've had him once so far, I think.
yeah, if you're able to either attend on Thursday or to watch the recording, which will be available afterward, that might be a great way to spark a discussion. And we could ask Vince to come to a July meeting and further that discussion if you think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I think that and a couple of other things we can talk about another meeting, but yes, I think that's good.
Thank you.
And there is a registration for that meeting.
So for Thursday's open house, it is a registration on Eventbrite. I think that link is posted on the town's calendar. as a meeting of the Coastal Resilience Advisory Committee. So that's the easiest way to find the registration link. There is also a survey, which even if you can't attend the meeting, we'd love to have you take the survey.
I saw that. You're talking about the one that's on Daybreak?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. I hate talking about the steamship right now because there's no words to describe the mess. I've gotten 3 texts from different companies just since I've been sitting here to respond to. So the Woods Hole will be back on Wednesday night. We'll be back to 3 boats at triple crew. Whatever that means, normal, that's normal. That's the most service that we can do. The reason that there's such a problem, and I want everyone to know what that is, because it's brutal, okay? So in 2019, we have to go to 19. You can't say 2020, because that doesn't mean anything, because there was nobody coming. We had exactly the same schedule from, let's just say, May through Memorial Day, and then Memorial Day to when school gets out. That's how we do it. Like the 19th of June, it might be the 20th. Depends on what the date falls under when school gets out. That's how they start the summer schedule. So they always have extra crews to run these night trips, these odd trips, the weekend Sankaty trips. They just get crews and they run 2 trips. Boom. Not this year. It's like there's nobody to get. They're running the Gatehead tonight, 4th trip, they got a crew. No, there's crews, but there's not enough to put together a crew. Like you have a captain, a pilot, not enough ABSs or whatever it takes to have a boat run. And it's been like so crazy. This never happened before. So it looks like we have less service. But in theory, we had the same service, but we always were able to get those extra trips to run.
We had a backlog.
Right. So now it looks like we have a different schedule, but it's not true. It just looks that way because they can't get the crews. So you just gotta wait till Wednesday. And it's gonna change on Wednesday. There's gonna be a lot of boats. So I'm sorry if any one of you had any family members or people stuck, car sitting over there. At least the driver services is in. And if that wasn't happening, I mean, I'd have to move somewhere. It would never work. You can't leave your car. How you gonna leave your car? It's just impossible. Everything is. So it's just, this is I don't want to say it's a good problem. At least we're busy. But it looks really bad, but at least we're busy. I don't
I'm
know.
waiting for a vehicle to come over and it's dropped off, or it's going to be dropped off.
Yeah. And what happens is they just started moving some cars up to Brooks Road the other day, but they don't want to do that Leslie, because they can't get. Now they got to drive that car. Whereas the trucks, they know everybody's phone number. It's totally different to get the trucks to the phone, but not cars.
I've had freight that's taken 3 weeks to get from Hyannis. 3
So,
100-day season.
yeah, I mean,
3 weeks.
I don't know, do waves still come into the shore? I don't know what to tell you.
But
So-
nobody's got anything to ride.
So I just want to make a comment about Leslie and her 6 years on here, and appreciate your being here, appreciate your input, especially Nantucket, and the phone calls that you give me and questions, and
Well, that won't go away.
I know that, that's what I was gonna say. So I certainly appreciate that, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Nantucket with the area plan update, but also that whole Washington Ave issue. And I think that that's a good thing for you to get, weigh in a little bit, meet those people, Max Brown guy, been talking to him, and that can calm down a little bit. And it's good, so, so we appreciate you and wish you the best, and come to the meetings and be the only person out here that comes to the meeting if you want, whatever you want.
I enjoy it.
So-
Working with everybody.
Anyone else have anything? I just want to make sure we, don't forget Leslie, and thank you very much. And it's nice that your last meeting is in person, which is amazing.
I've actually really missed in-person meetings, you don't realize until they're not yet come.
Really
It's
is,
a better
there's just
compromise.
nothing like it. I'm sorry, it's sort of like certain things don't ever get better, you know, like it's just it. This is better than it's, so I don't care. So Eleanor, Andrew, what are we doing about Eleanor? What are we doing? We gotta,
Well,
we gotta make a plaque, or what are we doing? Put the little hockey stick on it for our boys, something.
we can get something together for Eleanor.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we need to do
As
something.
we've
for
said,
her.
she's not, you know.
She's not gone, she's just
gone,
not
gone,
here.
And we're in touch all the time, but
How's she doing in her new position?
good.
She's like Debbie Dilworth leaving the planning office, like that just doesn't get replaced, you know what I mean?
A little more serious.
So,
Well, it is, and as you said earlier, it's like she had 5 jobs there, so I mean, she handled all kinds of different, you know, DPA, housing, so.
Yeah.
She, plus her knowledge.
and on the boat,
Title
going to
work.
hockey, she'd be sending out stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, she got it figured out, so.
But we hope to fill some positions. We did fill one of the clerical positions. I think as we told you today, we're coaching another steamship authority member from your staff, so.
I can't even tell you.
Go on. And we did have a very positive, we're setting up an in-person
Andrew.
meeting with the transportation.
Oh, yeah, that,
Candidate, hopefully.
so that's moving, we're getting traction.
Yes,
Yeah, the transportation plan,
we had, Leslie and I we had a remote interview today, and we hope to set up an in-person.
are we gonna get to meet him? I mean, I know that you just don't
That's why
like.
we're bringing him.
Well, oh, so you're gonna get him here?
Yes.
Before he's technically,
Yes.
okay, cool.
Where's he from? Ann?
He's originally from Bedford, Massachusetts, and works now in Washington, or Greater Maryland.
Yeah, fact is from Mass is huge, in my opinion. That's good.
Knows all the transportation.
Whoever, all the email people. Email trail, Mike's email trail.
You may have to work a deal with Mr. Steamship here, have him a parking spot over on the lot behind us, like go home and live for what he's.
Well, I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
housing is an issue, so
Yeah,
he has a pretty large family, so we're
wife's a nurse,
gonna be a challenge.
which is good.
Yep.
This is a great place to come for that, that's for sure. John and Wendy, you guys okay?
I'm here.
Still awake.
Thank you, and thank you both for making the effort to call in tonight. Okay. This is good. I can't believe the thing works like this. This is good. So anyone else have any questions, comments, anything? When are you guys back on from your boards, or is that next month? I'm getting mixed up. You're back on already, right? And
Yeah, no, I'm still on. I'm not.
You're still on?
I'm not up for re-election or whatever it is.
oh,
Next,
No,
no, this is for the annual, so. when
I'm
you're-
talking
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
I'm talking about from Concom to our board
Yeah,
and Housing Authority to us. Have you been reappointed by your board to be
no,
on
we
this
haven't done
board?
that yet.
Okay, so that's next month.
That's why we moved everything up. to
Forward
July.
another month because of the election. It's like the timing is bad. Okay,
We
Got
did this at our meeting a week ago,
okay,
maybe 2 weeks ago.
cool. Just,
You guys are always ahead.
I forgot. Yeah, you guys seem to always be, that's true. Notice that over the years. All right, Jack, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I love it. Thank you for being here, Jack.
Mr. Chairman, one question. Next
Yeah.
meeting, do you want it to be an in-person meeting, or do you have the option now to go back to
Oh.
Zoom? And I think at the planning board meeting, we're going back to Zoom.
For how long are we gonna do that, you think?
I mean, my personal vote is forever.
You wanna stay on Zoom?
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
They do. I don't.
Public. Yeah, but the public is a
her
mess.
I think it
fuzzy slippers and her-
really encourages
You
public
can cook on the grill and
participation.
be on the meeting at the
You can
same
be
time.
home, you can be running errands, you can be helping out with your kids, you can be cooking dinner, you can be doing anything, and you can still be tuning in.
The legislation extended to
a live meeting, they can just go on.
You can participate.
When?
April of 2022.
So what I think, if this is just my personal opinion, I think, like, I mean, my steamship meetings, and I hate to say it like this, but I like Zoom because I don't want to go to Falmouth. But I'll go to Falmouth like 4 times or 5 times a year, but I don't want to go 12. Like now that we have this, nobody even heard of Zoom until March 2020, never even heard of it. So smaller committees or things that are like sort of from different places, and it's different than a board that is voting on big things and people need to come and talk and whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's whatever, I don't know.
The select board's been discussing how to do both, so people can be, helping with kids and cooking dinner and still tune in. So I think we just need a little bit of time to
Figure that out.
technology,
Like a
but
screen that has Zoom, but you're still here. Yeah, that makes a lot of
so we
sense.
might have some of that stuff figured out by the next meeting. So we can have person with the Zoom capability. But it's not quite happening.
Jim, why don't we continue to do, next meeting, the first-
I think we should. I think we should. If you guys are all okay with that, I mean, I'd like to. Do you think so? Thinking you're not gonna get upset, are you?
Oh my God, no.
Because this isn't
I'll
gonna
do
be,
everyone
listen,
else.
you
That
can
was
like,
my-
you can give me the evil eyeball when I'm starting to talk too much. It's totally fine. You can do that.
That's a lot of evil eyeballs.
Doesn't slow down.
So Judith, are you okay with that? Judith?
Yep, yep.
Okay. I think we should in this group. I mean, planning board, I mean, that's not, whatever you guys, want to do with that, but I think this is good, Anyway, Josh, how are you? You good?
Good to see you.
Josh and I go back a long way. We used to go to the vineyard together with Grace Grossman. Oh, my God. That's how we get to know each other. Never forget those trips over there. I'm going over there for lunch on the 18th. For hockey and lunch. I can't wait to do it. I haven't been there in a while.
That was before you had passport, the slow boats.
We drove to Woods Hole and took
Yeah.
the Martha's Vineyard or whatever we did. Oh, I went to Oak Bluffs, I recall. This Coogan guy used to pick us up. I think he passed away. But there was a couple of people that would pick us up, take us wherever we were going. Yeah, evil eye. There you go. All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Derek, take care, Derek.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Nice to see you all.
See you guys. Bye, Wendy. Don't get hammered.
How you feeling? Better?
Better, I'm on, this is,
Thank you, John.
something without a.
Like a robot.
You know, that's right.
Anyway.